Although the Forbidden Reach has only been the endgame zone of Dragonflight patch 10.0.7, there is still an entire zone meta achievement dedicated to it that involves exploring, collecting treasures, defeating rares, completing the Zskera vaults, and more. So today I'm going to walk you through every achievement required for the Forbidden Reach zone meta achievement, You Know How to Reach Me, earning you the Forbidden title. Let's start with the easiest achievements first and work our way up from there. The first achievement is simply to explore the entirety of the Forbidden Reach, and if you haven't got this achievement already, chances are you will already have a good amount of progress on it if you've at least spent some time in the zone. Simply hop on your dragon riding mount and check for any spots on your world map that are still undiscovered and get your first achievement. The next achievement that is super simple to complete is Every Door, Everywhere, All at Once, which asks you to open every door in the Zskera vault in 1 week. This will require 28 keys to complete. Just make sure you do this all within 1 week's worth of the vault, as it will reset on your region's weekly reset day, and you will have to start again. Zskera vault keys drop from rares, treasures and special encounters on the Forbidden Reach, so you'll have to do some farming in the zone to get all of the keys you need, but they are also account bound, so if you have any spare keys lying around on your alts, you can mail them over to your main. The other Zskera Vault achievement is Doorbuster, which simply asks you to open a total of 150 vault doors in the Zskera vaults. This will take you a few weeks to complete depending on how many vault keys you're able to farm for each reset, but the minimum time it will take you to get this achievement is 6 weeks. But don't worry, the Forbidden Reach meta achievement will still be available to earn after patch 10.0.7 has ended. Once you complete this achievement, you will be awarded with the Keymaster title. Treasures of the Forbidden Reach requires you to discover and loot all of the hidden treasure types around the Forbidden Reach, with the exception of the Forbidden Hoard, as this has its own achievement which we will look at in just a moment. The best advice I can give you for farming these treasures is to purchase a Reliquary Scroll of Perception from Cataloger Dela, the Dragon Scale Expedition Envoy in Morcut Village. It will cost you 2000 Elemental Overflow. The buff lasts 1 hour, and while it is active, it will allow you to see any active treasures on your map when you are close by. Simply use this buff while dragon riding to find as many different treasures as possible. Any active treasures should display differently on your map depending on which add-ons you're using. For example, active treasures show in pink when you are using Rare Scanner. Hoarder of the Forbidden Reach is a simple achievement in theory, but it will take you some time to complete. The achievement asks you to collect 100 small treasures from around the Forbidden Reach. What the achievement refers to as small treasures are any of the treasures from the previous achievement you'll find around the Forbidden Reach, except for the Forbidden Hoard chest. Depending on your class, you may find the War Creche to be a good farming spot, as there are lots of obsidian coffers that spawn down there, but it is also full of elite mobs, so again, it may not be as efficient for some as it may be for others. Much like the treasures of the Forbidden Reach achievement, buying a Reliquary Scroll of Perception will help you get this done much more efficiently. A similar treasure-related achievement is Forbidden Spoils. For this achievement, you need to loot 10 Forbidden Hoards around the Forbidden Reach. Forbidden Hoards are larger chests which have a spawn timer, the same way that rares do. With an add-on like Rare Scanner, you can be alerted anytime a Forbidden Hoard is active while you're in the Forbidden Reach. That way, you should be able to make it to more spawns in time to loot the treasure. But you need to be quick. When the Forbidden Hoard spawns, there are only a few waves of trash mobs with very small health pools that need to be killed before the chest unlocks and is available to loot. While We Were Sleeping asks you to collect and hand in 8 different journal entries and sending stones around the Forbidden Reach and the Zskera vaults. 5 of these items can be found without any prerequisite questing whatsoever, but the final 3 will require you to have access to the Zskera vaults, which is easily done by following the brief introductory questline to the Forbidden Reach. The coordinates for each message location are listed in the description below, but the Zskera vault messages locations may vary with the different vaults that we see with each weekly reset, and the vault requires 28 keys to open every door, so you may need to do some farming to be in with the best chance of finding all the messages you need. Once you interact with any of the messages, you'll be prompted with a quest that will lead you to hand them in to the scale commanders back at Morcut Village. The other collecting achievement for the zone meta is the Librarian of the Reach. For this achievement, all you need to do is find and pick up 9 books scattered around the Forbidden Reach and the Zskera vaults. There are 6 that can be found in the open world in the Forbidden Reach without any prerequisites, and the final 3 can spawn inside the Zskera vaults. The coordinates for the locations of each of these books are listed below, and add-ons like handy notes can mark the location of each of them on your map for you as well. A link to the handy notes add-on is also linked below. These books are bind on pickup, so you will need to farm them all on one character, as you will be unable to send them across your account. Once you pick up a book, you will gain progress on the achievement and you are safe to destroy it or sell it. The next achievement is Champion of the Forbidden Reach, and this one requires you to defeat all of the special encounter bosses in the zone, including profession rares. Again, with an add-on like Rare Scanner or Handy Notes, you should be able to make it to many more rare spawns and make good progress on this achievement. But as for the profession rares, you will need to either farm the artisan curios to spawn the rares or purchase them on the auction house. You don't need to have a specific profession to be able to spawn a profession rare. Any player with any profession can do it as long as they have the corresponding artisan curio. For example, the jewel crafting rare called Amethyst requires the crystal tuning fork to be summoned. If you're looking to farm these artisan curios yourself, note that any gathering profession curios will require you to gather with that profession, so the herbalism curio can drop from picking flowers, the mining curio can drop from mining nodes, and so on. As for crafting professions, any mob on the Forbidden Reach has a very small chance to drop the item for you, regardless of which professions you have on your character at the time. Then, if you aren't able to craft the item yourself, take the curio to a crafting order NPC, place the recrafting order, and once it's fulfilled, you can take it to the spawn location of the corresponding profession rare to summon it. If you are just farming the Forbidden Reach in general, keep an eye out for any rare spawns nearby, as you can be alerted of profession rare spawns if you are nearby. That way, you may be able to tag a few profession rares without having to do any of the prerequisite farming. The person who summons the profession rare will benefit from Summoner's Luck and be given an extra piece of loot when they loot the rare. If you'd like to see which professions correspond to which rares, take a look at this table. You will also be able to see which curios are required to make the epic summoning item. The link to the Wowhead article containing this table is in the description below. Under the Weather is the next achievement, and for this one, you need to complete the 4 different evolved storm types that spawn on the Forbidden Reach. The event will always spawn at the Froststone Vault at the coordinates 6038, and it should spawn roughly every 2 hours on the hour. So if you see an evolved storm at 2 PM, the next one should be at 4 PM, and so on. When an evolved storm is active, you'll see a large skull icon on the map to distinguish the event from other rares and special encounters in the zone, so keep your eyes peeled. To participate in the event, you will need to activate the world boss by defeating elemental mobs nearby. Once the area has been cleared, the world boss will engage. Watch out for these bosses as they have a good amount of HP and also have a few mechanics throughout the fight too. You can check the custom group finder for anyone listing groups for specific evolved storm bosses if you need a particular one, but they may be difficult to find as the event usually doesn't last more than 5 minutes in a 2-hour window. Unfortunately, there isn't a specific pattern that determines which boss spawns in which order, so you may find that the same boss spawns twice in a row. This may be hotfixed later down the line, but for now, the best you can do is check in on the storms whenever you can and participate in the ones you still need for the achievement. X marks the spot is the final achievement you will need, and this one asks you to loot 10 treasures found by using a sealed scroll, and these scrolls have a pretty low drop chance from enemies, treasures and activities on the Reach. This achievement has recently been nerfed to 10 treasures down from 50, so it should be much more achievable for most players. To increase your chances of finding these sealed scrolls, you can purchase the Azure Scrying Crystal from Creches in Morkat Village for 2000 elemental overflow each. The only thing to note here is that the buff ends as soon as you loot a scroll, so it's up to you if you want to keep spending 2000 elemental overflow to continue refreshing your buff, or if you'd rather save the elemental overflow just to grind mobs endlessly and leave it up to RNG. But if you don't want to buy any cosmetic rewards or items for elemental overflow, and you want to get the achievement done faster, the Azure Scrying Crystal may be a good option for you. With or without the scroll, I would recommend farming mobs at roughly the coordinates 59, 65, and preferably joining or forming a farming group to make the grind faster. Once you have a sealed scroll, use the item and you will find a red X on your map somewhere in the Forbidden Reach, showing you the location of the hidden treasure. Once you loot the treasure, it will give you an item that corresponds to one of the 4 envoy NPCs back at Morkat Village. You can then trade that treasure to the vendor in exchange for a supply cache that will usually contain a Zskera vault key, some Dragonar supplies, and a rep token for 250 reputation with the corresponding renown faction. With that, you should have completed the Forbidden Reach Zone Meta achievement, You Know How to Reach Me, and earned the Forbidden title. Thank you so much for watching, best of luck with your achievement hunt, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!